Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current of July 16. Today we are going to discuss the topics are SC to look into use of money bills to pass laws, which comes under GS2 paper, Indian polity. Next, India and Russia have doubled rupee double payments in 2024, which comes under GS2 paper international relations. Next, ISRO has a problem, many rockets but too few satellites to launch, which comes under GS3 paper science and technology. And the union government's rate on financial transfer to different states, which comes under GS3 Indian economy. Next, world's rarest whale, which we have to know in speeches and newses. Next, the big brother to brother and Nepal Indian rest. So, which comes in editorial analysis, and finally, we are going to see the mapping. So, first topic here is it to look into use of money bills to pass laws. First, the Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachand has agreed to hear petitions challenging the passage of controversial amendments via the money bill, wrote in Parliament. The issue questions whether amendments, including those to Prevention of Money Laundering Act and Finance Act 2017, bypass the Rajya Sabha unconditionally. Now, the Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachand has agreed to list petitions challenging the passage of contentious amendment through the money bill, wrote in Parliament. The issue was referred to a 7-judge bench on November 2019 by previous 5-judge bench led by Justice Ranjan Gogoi. The core question is whether amendments such those have to Prevention of Money Laundering Act and Finance Act of 2017 were correctly passed as money bills, bypassing the Rajya Sabha. Money bills under Article 110 class 1 of the constitution are limited specific financial matters like appropriation from the consolidated fund and taxation. The case also involves the allegations that categorizing certain bills as money bills was a tactic to increase executive control over judicial tribunals, which has been contested by petitioners including Rajya Sabha MP Jairam Ramesh. Next, we have to know about the money bill. Under Article 110 of the Indian Constitution defines the money bill. A bill will be considered a money bill if it only contains any or of the following matters, such as the imposition, abolition, alteration, remission, or regulation of any tax, the regulation of the borrowing of funds or giving of any grant guarantee by the government of India, or amendment of any law regarding the financial obligation of the government of India, custody of and payment and withdrawal from the consolidated fund of India or the contingency fund of India. Next, the appropriation of funds out of consolidated fund of India. The recipient of funds into consolidated fund of India are to the public account of India. The custody or issue of such funds from consolidated fund or public account. The audit of the accounts of the union or of a state, declaring any expenditure to be charged on the consolidated fund or increasing the amount of any such expenditure. Any matter is incidental to any of the matters is specified above. Now, what are the procedure for this money bills? The procedures are certification of money bill, introduction of the bill, next Rajya Sabha, President assent. So these are all the procedures needed to be followed in money bill. So with this, we have to discuss the UPSC previous year question paper which have been asked in 2023. With reference to finance bill and money bill, the Indian Parliament consider the following statement. When the Lok Sabha transmits finance bill to Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. When the Lok Sabha transmits money bill to Rajya Sabha, it can amend to reject the bill. It can only make recommendation. In case of disagreement between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, there is no joint sitting for money bill, but joint sitting becomes necessary for finance bill. Here the answer is B. Only two statements are correct. Our next topic is the India and Russia have doubled rupee and double payments in 2024. So Sberbank knows rising trust in the Indian rupee despite sanctions with the transaction and rupee deposits surging. Prime Minister Modi's Moscow visit aims at $100 billion trade target by 2030, urging Indian firms to expand into sectors like auto, chemicals, and electronics in Russia. Sberbank reports a growing trust in Indian rupee among the clients with a doubling of rupee payments since last year despite US UN sanctions. The volume of transactions handled by Sberbank Bank increased by 80% in first half of 2024. India corporates have increased rupee deposits significantly with a six-fold rise in corporate deposits in 2024. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to Moscow aims to boost economic ties, targeting $100 billion trade goal by 2030 with Russia. India's business are urged to explore sectors like auto components, aviation, chemicals, electronics, machinery, and agriculture for exports to Russia. There is a concern that Chinese businesses are benefiting from the sanctions by filling the void left by Western companies, urging quicker action from India to strengthen trade relations with Russia. With this, we have to discuss about the previous year question paper which have been asked in 2019. Recently, India signed a deal known as Action Plan for prioritization and implementation of cooperation areas in the nuclear field, with which the following countries: Japan, Russia, United Kingdom, United States of America. The answer is B, Russia. Our next topic is ISRO has a problem: many rockets but too few satellites to launch. First, Indian space program led ISRO faces challenges in aligning launch vehicle capabilities with market demand under a shift toward demand-driven model. Despite robust satellite applications, educating potential users and enhancing launch vehicle capacities are critical amidst evolving economic and private sector dynamics. With this, we have to know about launch vehicle capability and market demand. In June, the chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, highlighted the ISRO's launch vehicle capability exceeds current demand by threefold. This statement has raised concerns in the space flight sector about the state of space launch market. Now, India operates four launch vehicles: the small satellite launch vehicle, that is SSLV. Next, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLV. Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle, that is GSLV. Next, Launch Vehicle Mark 3, LVM3. So these can launch satellites up to 4 tons of geosynchronous orbit. For heavier payloads exceeding 4 tons, India relies on foreign launch vehicles like European Ariane V and SpaceX Falcon 9. Now, what are the challenges in demand in creation? So, the challenge lies in creating awareness and demand for space-based services among potential users such as business, government entities, and general public. This education is essential for stimulating demand for satellites and consequently launch vehicles. Examples include the need for space-based internet service where demand must be generated before satellite constellations are launched to provide the service. Next, the limitations and upgrades in launch vehicles. India's current launch vehicles have limitations for certain missions. For instance, Chandrayaan-4 would require multiple launches of the LVM3 due to payload capacity constraints compared to vehicles like China's Long March 5. ISRO plans to enhance capabilities with semi-cryogenic engines for LV3 and proposes the next generation launch vehicle to handle heavier payloads up to 10 tons to Geostationary Transfer Orbit (GTO), pending funding approvals. Its continued success with SSLV for smaller satellites is crucial as it encourages growth in satellite size complexity, thereby increasing demand for launch vehicles. The transition to a demand-driven model in Indian space program requires effective customer education and market stimulation to align satellite and launch vehicle production with identified needs. This strategic shift aims to optimize resources and foster sustainable growth in the space sector. With this, we have to know about the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2016. Consider the following statements. The Mangalyaan launched by ISRO is also called as Mars Orbiter mission, made India the second country to have spacecraft orbit of the Mars after USA, made India the only country to be successful in making the spacecraft orbit Mars in its very first attempt. Though the answer is 1 and 3. They have been asking the current statement. So 1 and 3 statements are correct. Second one is wrong. Our next topic is the Union government's reign on financial transfers to different states. So the privatization of Air India in 2022, transferring ownership from the government to Tata Sons, marked a significant milestone and a bold reform since the second wave of liberalization in 2004. The strategic transformation is anticipated to stabilize the airline sector and positively impact the entire value chain, potentially extending benefits beyond Indian borders. The major fleet expansion and infrastructure investments seen here are: first, the fleet in expansion. Next, the robust airline system and growth in traffic. So with this, we have also the efforts to enhance the airport infrastructure, that is to support the expansion. India is enhancing airport infrastructure with $11 billion investment pipeline. So in the national capital ranging, Delhi International Airport will be expand capacity to 130 to 140 million passengers annually, complemented by the new Noida International Airport opening in April 2025 with 70 million capacity. The Adani Group is expanding capacity at 6 month non-metro airports, and the Airport Authority of India is investing $4 billion to enhance non-metro capacity. Greenfield airports are also planned for Chennai and Pune. With this, the regulatory framework for the aviation sectors are: National Civil Aviation Policy, that is NCAP, 2016, guides the Indian aviation sector. Aviation policy is broad based in India and is dealt with the Ministry of Civil Aviation under the legal framework of the Aircraft Act 1934 and Aircraft Rules 1937. The DGCA is the statutory regulatory authority which comes in for issues related to safety, licensing, airworthiness, and so on. Airports Authority of India manages and operates airports and provides air traffic management services. Bureau of Civil Aviation Security is responsible for laying down standards and measures for the security of civil flights and airports. Airport Economic Regulatory Authority regulates tariffs and other charges for aeronautical services provided at major airports. It also monitors performance standards of such services. Regional Connectivity Scheme, that is RCS, UDAN, that is Uday Desh Ka Ham Nagrik, aims to make air travel affordable and widespread by enhancing regional air connectivity through financial incentives, subsidies, and infrastructure support. So that's all from this topic. With this, we have to deal with the UPSC prelims practice question. That is, which of the following statement with regard to the Constitution of Finance Commission are correct? The Government of India has recently constituted the 16th Finance Commission under the chairmanship of Dr. Arvind Panagria. So, Finance Commission is constituted in pursuance to Article 263 of the Constitution of India. In this, we have to select the correct answer. So, the answer is D, none of the above. Both the statements are wrong. Our next topic is world's rarest whale. A spade-toothed whale, the world's rarest and never before seen alive, washed up on a New Zealand beach, potentially providing vital scientific insights. Identified by its distinctive features, the specimen could enable detailed study and genetic analysis, offering new knowledge about their habitat and behavior in southern Pacific Ocean. Now about the news. As a spade-toothed whales, this world's rarest have ever seen. The specimen could enable detailed study and genetic analysis, offering a new knowledge about their habitat behavior in the southern Pacific Ocean. A 5-meter long beaked whale washed up on a South Island New Zealand beach in believed to be spade-toothed whale identified physical characteristics. This discovery could provide crucial scientific insights as it might be the first specimen suitable for the dissection and study. Previous sites of a spade-toothed whales were limited to 6 specimens, with those found in New Zealand already buried for DNA testing. The whale has been preserved for genetic testing, which could take months to confirm its identity. New Zealand's indigenous Maori tribes will be involved in the examination, considering whales as culturally significant treasures. The whale's deep sea habits make research challenging, and their precise habit in the vast ocean remains elusive. The first spade-toothed whale bones were found in 1872 on New Zealand's Spit Island. Another discovery was made at the offshore island in 1950s, and the bones of third were found in Charles Robinson Crusoe Island in 1986. DNA sequencing in 2002 proved all the 3 specimens were of same species, and it was one distinct from other beaked whales. Researchers studying the mammal could not confirm its species went extinct. Then in 2010, 2 whole spaded-toothed whales, both dead, washed up on a New Zealand beach. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about editorial analysis. Our editorial analysis topic is Big Brother to Brother and Nepal, India Reset. The new leadership in both countries presents an opportunity to reset and stabilize relations, emphasizing mutual respect, non-interference, regional cooperation for greater stability and prosperity. Now we have to know about the background of Indian-Nepal relations. Relations between India and Nepal have been strained since 2015 when both countries have different prime ministers. The adoption of Nepal's new constitution in 2015, which India wanted amended, sparked bilateral turbulence. Despite initial assurance to India, Nepal promulgated the constitution without amendments, leading to a significant downturn in relations. Now, the blockade and its aftermath is India imposed a 6-month blockade on Nepal, ostensibly blaming Madheshi activists, causing significant hardship and fostering long-lasting resentment in Nepal. Nepal leadership reacted by signing 10 agreements with China covering trade, transit, power, and transport. The blockade aftermath saw Nepal's prime minister make provocative statements about historical and national identity, further straining relations. Next, the political and diplomatic dynamics. So, despite meetings between the Prime Minister, post blockade tensions persisted with proactive suggestions from Nepal about India's national symbols. India's 2019 political map update, with include disputed territories, led Nepal to amend its constitution to assert its claims over these areas. India's increasing involvement in Nepali governance and politics, including fielding advocates for its ideological positions, further complicated relations. Now, what are the challenges and opportunities faced here? With India's Prime Minister starting his third term of Nepal, new leadership, there is an opportunity to reset and stabilize relations. The Indian government may need to revisit its approach to Nepal, emphasizing policy corrections and mutual respect. The principle of non-interference as a part of Panchal doctrine should guide India's engagement with Nepal. Now, internal dynamics seen in Nepal is the political chaos in Nepal has weakened its ability to engage on equal terms with India. Previous Nepali leaders have varied success in maintaining balanced relationship with India. The recently concluded prime ministerial term was significant concessions to India, including agreements that potentially compromise Nepal's sovereignty. With this, we have hydropower and economic issues also. Nepal recent agreements with India, particularly in hydropower, have sparked controversy due to restrictions favoring India. The Indian embassy in Kathmandu has been given unique privileges not afforded to other embassies, raising concerns about unequal treatment. Delinking Nepal's hydropower from its water resources to bypass parliamentary ratification highlights the complexities of bilateral agreements. With this, we have to know about the regional cooperation also. The new leadership in Nepal has the opportunity to advocate for reviving the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, benefiting the entire region. India's policymakers need to recognize Nepal's non-eligible friendship with China, which does not prelude strong ties with India. Balancing these relationships is crucial for regional stability and cooperation. Now, what are the special relations seen between India and Nepal? The special relations are defense cooperation, disaster management, infrastructure development, water resource cooperation, education, cultural exchange. So these are all the special relations between India and Nepal. Also, we have some of the challenges such as issue with peace and friendship treaty, territorial disputes, China's interference, security threat, and also the trust deficit. So these are some of the challenges. Our next topic is about the mapping the Indus River system. It originates from the glacier near Bakora Chu in the Tibetan region at the altitude of 4,164 km in the Kailash mountain range near the Mansovar Lake. So the left and right bank tributaries we have, so that is Zaskar River, Sursu River, Son, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bees, Satluj, Panjab are its more major left bank tributaries. And the Shyok River, we have to know about this. The Shyok is one of the right bank tributaries. So other right bank tributaries are Shyok, Gilgit, Hunza, Swat, Kunnar, Kuram, Gomel, Kabul, and these are its major right bank tributaries. So now we'll say about the Shyok River. So we could find the Shyok River at this place. So rising from the Karakoram range, it flows through the northern Ladakh region in Jammu and Kashmir. It has the length of about 550 km. A tributary of the Indus River, it originates from the Remo Glacier. The river widens at the confluence with the Nubra River. This Shyok River marks the southeastern fringe of the Karakoram Ranges by forming a V-shaped bend around it. Next, the Nubra River. So, it is the main tributary of Shyok. It originated from the Nubra Glacier, its depression to the east of Saltora Kangri Peak. Nubra River meanders towards the southeast to join the Shyok River downstream of Shyok Valley at the base of Ladakh Range. Nubra Valley, situated at an altitude of 3048 meters, is formed out of Nubra River. The catchment area is devoid of vegetation and human habitation due to the high elevation of lack of rainfall. The next, Shigar River. It is a small right bank tributary of the Indus River in its course through the Ladakh region of Jammu and Kashmir. It rises from Hispar Glacier and it joins Indus at Skardu. The Shingai River descends down a very steep gradient, yet the entire catchment has been influenced by the action of glaciers. Next, the river is Gilgit River. It is located here. It is an important right bank tributary of the Indus River in the course through the Ladakh region of Jammu and Kashmir. It originates from the glacier near the extreme northwestern boundary of Himalayas. The entire catchment of Gilgit River is bleak and desolate. Bunji is the main human settlement along this river. Gizar and Hunza are the major right and left bank tributary of respectively. Next, the Hansa River. It is an important left bank tributary of this Gilgit and it rises from the glacier from the Karakoram range in the northwestern part of Jammu and Kashmir. It flows southeast and cuts across the Karakoram range through the spectacular gorge. The downstream, the Hansa River flows southwesterly direction in the middle course. Next, the Zanskar River. It is one of the important left bank tributaries of the Indus and human settlements are sparse here. The Chenab River. Chenab is located here. The Chenab originates near the Baralacha Pass in the Lahul-Spiti part of Zaskar range. Chenab River is formed by the confluence of the Chandra and Bhaga rivers at Tandi located in the upper Himalayas in the Lahul and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Its upper reaches is also known as Chandrabhaga. It flows through Jammu region and Jammu and Kashmir into the plains of Punjab, Pakistan. The waters of Chenab are allocated to Pakistan under the terms of Indus Water Treaty. Baglia Dam has been constructed on this river. So next the Jhelum. So it is a tributary of Chenab River and has total length of 813 km. The river Jhelum rises from the spring at Vernak situated at the foot of Pir Panjal in the southeast part of Valley Kashmir in India. The Kishan Ganga, that is Neelam River, the largest tributary of Jhelum, joins it. The Chenab merges with Satluj to form a Panjnant River which joins the Indus River at Methakon. It ends in confluence with Chenab in Pakistan. The next is Kishan Ganga River. So this Kishan Ganga is the originate in Dras in Kargil district of Jammu and Kashmir. The Neelam River enters Pakistan from India near the line of actual control. It also called as Neelam River either to its sky cold water or due to the precious stone ruby Neelam that is found in this area. It is famous for ice cold water and trout fishes. Next is the Ravi River. So Ravi, the river originates in Daulatabad range of Himalayas in the Chamba district of Himachal Pradesh. Ravi has source in Kullu Hills near the Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh. It follows northwesterly course and perennial river having a total length of about 720 km. The waters of Ravi River are allocated to India under the Indus Water Treaty. The major multipurpose project built in the river as in Ranjit Sahar Dam, that is in Tain Dam, as it is located in Tain village. Chamba town is situated on the right bank of this river. So the which river is the tributary of Ravi River that flows through the Katwa district in the Indian Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Next, the Shahpur Kandi Dam project is located on Ravi River in Pathankot district, Punjab, downstream from the existing Ranjit Sahar Dam. So this the Satluj River. The Satluj River is sometimes known as a Red River. It rises from beyond the Indian borders in the southern slopes of Kailash mountain near Mansovar lake from the Rakash lake. It enters Himachal Pradesh at Shipkila and flows the southwesterly direction through Kinnaur, Shimla, Kulu, Solan, Mandi and Bilaspur districts. The river water of Satluj are allocated to India under the Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan and is mainly used for power generation and irrigation of many large canals draw water from it. Across the river, there are many hydroelectric and irrigation projects such as Koldam, Nantapad Jakri project. Next, the Beas River. So the Beas River is an important river of the Indus River system, emerges from Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh. The river before entering Pakistan merges with Satluj River at Harike Patna in Punjab. The total length of this river is 460 km and the river covers 256 km through Himachal Pradesh. The tourist resort of Manali is situated on the right bank of river Beas. So that's all from our today's topics. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been given in a description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.